Queen Rania of Jordan presides over a ceremony in Amman. Princess Caroline of Hanover views an exhibition at Villa Paloma in Monaco. The royal family of the Netherlands participate in the annual summer photo session in Den Haag. And royals from Europe commemorate the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings in Normandy, France. All this and much more coming up next on your Royal Daily News. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alexandra, and welcome to your Royal Daily News for Saturday, June 8th, 2024. On Thursday morning, monarchs and royals from around Europe, heads of state, and veterans from the Allied forces gathered at Omaha Beach in Saint-Laurent-sur-Mer to attend a commemoration ceremony on the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings. Monarchs and royals who attended the historic and moving ceremony included Their Majesties King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians, His Majesty King Frederick X of Denmark, His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg, His Serene Highness Prince Albert II of Monaco, Mr. Andrea Casaraghi, Mr. Pierre Casaraghi, Mrs. Beatrice Borromeo Casaraghi, Their Majesties King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, His Royal Highness Crown Prince Haakon of Norway, and His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales. Their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Camilla of the United Kingdom attended the Ministry of Defence and the Royal British Legion's commemorative event at the British Normandy Memorial at Vers-sur-Mer. In Staffordshire, their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, attended the Royal British Legion's Service of Remembrance at the National Memorial Arboretum. Meanwhile, His Royal Highness, the Duke of Kent, unveiled a statue to commemorate the Royal Warwickshire's regiment's involvement on that day of days. According to Buckingham Palace, quote, 500 men from the regiment were dropped by parachute in Normandy on D-Day, successfully drawing the attention of German units away from the beaches. End quote. In London, their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, attended the event D-Day 80, remembering the Normandy landings at the Royal Albert Hall. On Wednesday, His Serene Highness, Prince Albert II of Monaco, arrived at the Caen Memorial to view the exhibition entitled The Dawn of the American Century, 1919 to 1944. The exhibition showcases the social and political transformations of the United States of America during the interwar period until the start of World War II. Thereafter, the Sovereign Prince had the opportunity to fly in a Piper Cub, a single-engine light aircraft whose design dates back to the 1930s, flying over some of Normandy's historic landmarks. At noon, the Sovereign Prince visited Moho and Caen. In the late afternoon, the Sovereign Prince met with veterans from the United States of America in the town of Sainte-Mère-Église, one of the first to be liberated after the D-Day landings. According to the Palais Princier de Monaco, quote, in the middle of a very large crowd, the Sovereign Prince followed the parade of American veterans before speaking with these heroes of the Battle of Normandy at the Airborne Museum. He then visited Camp Geronimo, a reconstruction of a military camp from the Second World War, and attended a concert by American cellist Mr. Michael Fitzpatrick in the town church. End quote. On Thursday, Her Royal Highness, Princess Caroline of Hanover, and Mrs. Charlotte Casaraghi Rassam arrived at Villa Paloma in the Jardin Exotique district of Monaco to view the exhibition entitled Michel Barcelot, Oceanographer. According to a press release, the exhibition showcases over 60 artworks, such as paintings, ceramics, and embroideries by Spanish artist Mr. Michel Barcelot, who, quote, made the sea a central theme of his work. Visitors are invited to embark on an epic voyage from the beginning of life to the presence of humans espied behind his seascapes via powerful compositions of waves and ceramics inspired by antiquity. A whole swath of artwork by one of the greatest contemporary painters and an echo of the history of oceanography so dear to the Principality of Monaco. End quote. Miquel Barceló, oceanographer, will be open to the public until October 13th, 2024 at Villa Paloma. On Friday, Her Serene Highness, Princess Charlene of Monaco, accompanied by the Secretary General of the Princess Charlene of Monaco Foundation and her brother, Mr. Gareth Woodstock, participated in the 4th edition of Water Safety Day at the Calvi Nautique Club on the island of Corsica. The Princess and various ambassadors of the Princess Charlene of Monaco Foundation led workshops in basic water safety skills, drowning prevention, first aid, and CPR for 80 children and young people from local schools. Now that summer has arrived in Europe and in North America, it is imperative that children and young people learn about CPR, water safety, and drowning prevention. In the United States, drowning is the second leading cause of unintentional injury or death in children ages 1 to 14 years old. According to the World Health Organization, drowning is the third leading cause of unintentional injury or death worldwide, accounting for 7% of all injury-related deaths, which is roughly 647 people per day. As one who's in the ocean almost every single day, I cannot tell you how frustrating it is to witness parents not paying attention to their little ones while at the beach. Please keep yourself and your family safe by learning basic water safety skills. Also, never, ever turn your back on the ocean. Always swim with a buddy. If you're a parent, please keep your eye on your little ones. In fact, stay by their side when swimming, whether in the ocean, pool, or lake. Swim in an area where there are certified lifeguards on duty. Learn about rip currents. If you're caught in one, don't fight it. To swim out of the current, either swim to the right or to the left and on to the shore. Finally, never, ever swim in murky waters. After a storm, harbor entrances near river mouths and channels. Why? These cute little guys. Sharks. I love sharks. No, really, I do. I really do love sharks. I'm fascinated by them. But you have to keep your distance. They are cute, though. Okay, moving on. On Friday, in Den Haag, Their Majesties, King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, accompanied by their daughters, Her Royal Highness, Princess Katharina Amalia, Princess of Oranje, Her Royal Highness, Princess Alexia of the Netherlands, Her Royal Highness, Princess Ariane of the Netherlands, and their cute little doggy Mambo, held their annual summer photo session at Paleis Huis ten Bosch. In the afternoon, the King presided over the opening of Albert's global headquarters and the new production site of the company's hydronic flow control technology cluster in Almere. According to a press release, Albert's is a, quote, global leader in mission-critical technologies in eco-friendly buildings, semicon efficiency, sustainable transportation, and industrial niches, end quote. Meanwhile, Her Royal Highness, Princess Beatrix of the Netherlands, as patron of the Dutch mill, presided over the reopening of the Sloten mill in Amsterdam. According to RVD, the mill had undergone extensive renovation, which included, quote, the replacement of rods and blades and the auger with which the water is pumped, end quote. On Thursday evening, the Princess attended the opening of the 77th edition of the Holland Festival in Amsterdam. The festival offers international artistic performances at 22 different locations in Amsterdam until June 29th. On Friday, in Luxembourg City, Her Royal Highness, Hereditary Grand Duchess Stephanie of Luxembourg, as High Patron, held an audience with the president of the nonprofit organization Blitz, Ms. Chantal Keller, and the secretary of the committee, Ms. Laura May, at the Palais Grand Ducal. According to the Cour Grand Ducal, Blitz aims to raise awareness about strokes in Luxembourg. Quote, "Today, it is one of the main causes of death in the country." End quote. In Elvange, His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg met with Luxembourg-born dressage rider Mr. Nicholas Wagner Ellinger and his 15-year-old Hanoverian horse, Quarterback Jr., ahead of the Paris Summer Olympic Games. According to the Cour Grand Ducal, the Grand Duke got back into the saddle after 20 years and went for a ride with Mr. Wagner Ellinger. The 2024 Summer Olympic Games in Paris, France, will take place from July 26th through August 11th, 2024. The Grand Duke will attend the Olympic Games, according to the Cour Grand Ducal. On Thursday, Her Royal Highness Grand Duchess Maria Theresa of Luxembourg, as president of the Luxembourg Red Cross, laid the first foundation stone for the future House of the Red Cross in Howell. In a statement from the Cour Grand Ducal, the new €40 million state-of-the-art building will consolidate 20 services into a single address. This move will benefit the 450 staff members who are currently spread over 5 sites, as well as a blood donation center, spaces for beneficiaries, and areas for volunteers. On Tuesday evening in Commemorate, Their Royal Highnesses Grand Duke Henri and Grand Duchess Maria Theresa of Luxembourg, and Their Royal Highnesses Hereditary Grand Duke Guillaume and Hereditary Grand Duchess Stephanie of Luxembourg, hosted a dinner for members of the judiciary at Chateau de Berck. On Thursday in Brussels, the Royal Court of Belgium released 4 new portraits of His Majesty Emeritus King Albert II of Belgium on the occasion of his 90th birthday. The portraits were taken at the Palais Royal de Bruxelles and feature the Emeritus King with his eldest son, His Majesty King Philippe of the Belgians, and Her Royal Highness Princess Elizabeth of Belgium, Duchess of Brabant. On Friday, Her Majesty Queen Mary of Denmark witnessed the release of the Royal House of Denmark's white horses into the fields near Carlebo in North Zealand. According to the Royal Court of Denmark, it has been a tradition for over 40 years for the white horses to spend the summer holidays in the fields near Carlebo. In August, the horses will return to the royal stables at Christiansborg for, quote, training, end quote. Oh, I love this. I really do. Look how happy they look. On Friday, in Washington, D.C., His Royal Highness Prince Joachim of Denmark celebrated his 55th birthday. Born Joachim Holger Valdemar Christian, Prince of Denmark, Count of Montpezat on June 7, 1969, the prince is the second son of Her Majesty Queen Margrethe of Denmark and the late Prince Henrik of Denmark. On Wednesday, Their Royal Highnesses Prince Joachim and Princess Marie of Denmark celebrated the 175th anniversary of the Danish Constitution at the Danish Embassy in Washington, D.C. Guests attending the celebration included, quote, embassy employees, members of U.S. Congress, Pentagon officials, and representatives from other embassies, end quote. On Tuesday, Her Majesty Queen Margrethe of Denmark and Her Royal Highness Princess Benedicte of Denmark presided over the reopening of Sofiero Castle in Scania, Sweden. Over the past year, the historic castle underwent extensive renovation. According to the Royal Court of Denmark, the castle once belonged to the maternal grandfather, King Gustav Adolf of Sweden. After the king died in 1973, the castle passed on to Helsingborg Municipality. Since then, it has been available to the public. On Friday in Oslo, His Majesty, King Harald V of Norway, bestowed the Grand Cross of the Royal Norwegian Order of St. Olaf to author, translator, playwright, and the winner of the 2023 Nobel Prize in Literature, Mr. Jon Fosse. According to the Royal Court of Norway, Mr. Fosse received the order for his, quote, contribution to Norwegian literature, end quote. Mr. Fosse will receive the order during an event on Thursday, June 20th, 2024, in Oslo. On Wednesday, the King held an audience with the President of the Estonian Parliament, Mr. Lauri Hussar, at the Royal Palace. On Thursday, Their Majesties King Carl Gustaf and Queen Sylvia of Sweden, Their Royal Highnesses Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden, Her Royal Highness Princess Estelle of Sweden, His Royal Highness Prince Oscar of Sweden, and Their Royal Highnesses Prince Carl Philip and Princess Sophia of Sweden celebrated National Day and Swedish Flag Day. On the eve of His Majesty King Abdullah II of Jordan's Silver Jubilee celebrations, the Royal Hashemite Court released a portrait of the King and Her Majesty Queen Rania of Jordan. Tomorrow, the King will deliver a speech to the nation during a ceremony in Amman. According to the Royal Hashemite Court, in his speech, the King will, quote, highlight Jordan's achievements with the determination of its sons and daughters and their efforts in advancing the nation's progress and prosperity over the course of a quarter of a century, end quote. On Thursday in Amman, His Majesty King Abdullah II of Jordan, the Supreme Commander of the Jordan Armed Forces Arab Army, by royal decree, promoted His Royal Highness Crown Prince Al Hussein bin Abdullah II of Jordan to the rank of Major in the Jordan Armed Forces Arab Army. Over the past 2 years, the Crown Prince has served as a mechanized infantry platoon commander in the 1st Prince Al Hussein bin Abdullah II Royal Mechanized Battalion. Today, the Crown Prince serves as Tank Company Deputy Commander on the 2nd Royal Armored Battalion. The commander of the King Hussein bin Talal 40th Armored Brigade presented the Crown Prince with his new military rank during a ceremony. On Wednesday, Her Majesty Queen Rania of Jordan presided over the presentation of the 2023-2024 cycle of the Queen Rania Award for Excellence in Education during a ceremony at the Royal Cultural Palace in Amman. In a statement from the Queen's press office, the Queen presented, quote, trophies and certificates to the recipients of the 18th edition of the Distinguished Teacher Award, the 8th edition of the Distinguished Principal Award, the 4th edition of the Excellence Supporting Directorate Awards, and the 1st edition of the Distinguished Kindergarten Award, end quote. On Tuesday, Her Highness Sheikh Moza bint Nasser of Qatar presided over the Qatar Foundation School graduation ceremony held at the Qatar National Convention Center in Doha. And finally, in aristocrat and nobility news, Hugh Grosvenor, the 7th Duke of Westminster, married Miss Olivia Henson at Chester Cathedral in Chester, England, on Friday. The 7th Duke of Westminster is a godson of His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom and the son of the late Major General Gerald Cavendish Grosvenor, the 6th Duke of Westminster, and Natalia Grosvenor, the Dowager Duchess of Westminster. The 7th Duke of Westminster met Miss Henson 2 years ago through friends, according to various sources. Congratulations. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I will be back on Monday, June 10th, with all the latest royal news and events. Until then, I sincerely wish each and every one of you a wonderful weekend. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, comment below, and click on the notification bell so you won't miss a new episode. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will see you all on Monday. Take care.